So basically, as per the requirement, right? You should be familiar with these two, Studio and policies, right? So basically, Citrix Studio, that is a console from which you can manage all the data center operations. Now, I simply booted my virtual machine. This is my domain controller and this is my Citrix delivery controller on which Citrix Studio is hosted. So let's wait for this to boot up my domain controller. It is powering on. Okay. Do you know what is domain controller? You can turn off your camera. Camera is not required. Do you know what is domain controller and Active Directory console? Because this is the basic.
N- No, I don't know.
Okay. So basically Active Directory console, with the help of Active Directory console, you can manage your users and your computer accounts inside your infra. So for an example, this is my Active Directory console and this is my local server. This is my domain controller. You can see my domain name is xyz.com. Every company have their own domains, different domains, right? So that name may be changed. That is my computer host name, what I have given. And when I open Active Directory console, so you can see whatever the employees, users, their computers, every data should be there. For an example, you are working as a system admin or Citrix admin, right? And you have to create one user account for new joiner. So what you have to do, you have to open Active Directory console from the tools. From here, you can go to the Active Directory users and computers. And from here, you have to select that particular OU, like whatever the employee, HR or finance, different tabs should be there, folder should be there. You have to click the respective one. And for an example, like this is for my students. So if I click here, you can see these are few students who are using my lab for their practice and their practicals. So now I have got new joiner like you, right? So I have to add you in my domain. Then only you will be able to access the resources inside the company. So simply click on that folder, right click on the blank screen, click on the new, click on the user. Now, this is a new employee in my company. So what is your name? It's Kalyan, right? So first name I can give to this user and user logon name I can give anything, but I am keeping it that only. So your email ID should be kalyan@xyz.com in my case. Okay. Click on next. Now it is asking to set up a password for this user, right? So I can make it like one time password. This is a fresh password. After that, user have to change the password at the first login. So I'm simply keeping it like welcome@123, welcome@123. Now for security protocols, that particular option, it should be checked. User must change the password at next login. Right now, you know the user password, but when user log in for a first time system, it will prompt user to change the password immediately. So you can check that and click on next and finish. And then after, you have to give username and password to your end user. Like you can email him like username, that is Kalyan, right? And password, whatever the default password we have set, like welcome@123. So this is how you have to manage your users. Okay. And that's a very basic question the guys can ask, like what is Active Directory? So it is a database for users and computers. Okay. It will store all the information related to user and related to the computer. So if I click on the computers, you can see these are the computer host names which are connected in my domain. And if I click on the virtual machine, so these are the virtual machines. So basically computers are the physical computers. These are the physical machine you can consider, and these are the virtual machine which is created inside Citrix VDI. Now, now coming to the next one, familiar with Studio and the Citrix policies. So now Studio, it is a management console. With the help of Studio, you can manage your data center operations. So this is my Studio machine. I'm logging into it. What is the password?
So Studio is different app and Director is a different app or what it is exactly.
Which
Or
one
everything work comes in the same virtual machine.
are you talking about? The Studio or Director?
Yeah, I'm talking about like, I just know about like what is Studio, what is Director, but I'm not sure how does it look like. Like, will it be present in virtual machine? For example, we'll be logging into virtual machine, and within that, will we be installing all these Stick Studio apps and everything? Or how?
Wait. I'm telling you everything. First, let me log into this machine. So basically, Studio, it is an application that you have to install in your Citrix delivery controller. Basically, delivery controller, it is a core server virtual machine which manage all the information inside the data center. So here you can see in this single machine, I have added multiple rows like studio is here, storefront is there, director is there. Director, it is a web-based tool. With the help of Citrix Director, you can troubleshoot and monitor the data center activities. And also you can troubleshoot the VDI related issues. Now, if I click on the studio, and that studio console, it will remain same everywhere in every industry. Let's wait for it to launch. And you will find all the options quite similar in every organization. Whatever the version they are using doesn't matter. We are learning it on version 2201. So you can see, oh ho, oh ho ho. Okay, 8 days are enough for me. Extend your trial by activating 90 days. License not required right now. Okay, so this is your studio console. Okay,
Okay.
and inside this studio console, you can find the common tasks like the site configuration, the virtual machines like machine catalogs, whatever we have, right? And the delivery groups. Into the action, there is nothing here right now. You have nothing to do with the PowerShell. This now coming to the machine catalogs. So basically, machine catalogs are the collections of the virtual machines. Means this is for, as you can see, HR desk. This is a machine catalog. So whatever the virtual machines created for the HR team, all will be there inside HR desk machine catalog. If I double click on it, you will see so far only one machine is there which is registered for the HR team. Now, if I click here, what I can do, if you want to power on this virtual machine, you can right click and you can start it from here. Are you sure you want to start the machine? Start. Now, if I minimize this, you can see here is a HR machine and you can see it is automatically powering on. I click over there, right? Not from here. I'm not powering on it from here, right? I power it on from Studio Console and it is now powering on. And that machine, it is for the HR team. In the same way, if I have to power on this machine, application server, I have two ways. I can click on it and I can click on that start tab. Okay, but that is not a good practice. If I have to power it on, we can do that from here as well. But for best practice, we always perform these kind of actions from here. I can go to the machine catalog again, and then I can go to the application server machine catalog, and here I will find one machine. Here it is, and I can right click and I can start the machine. Now you will see in some time this machine it will also power on. So this is how we can power on or power off the machines. Now you can see now this machine is automatically powering on. If I click on console, you will see activity soon. Okay, now it is booting up. So now inside the delivery group, what is delivery group? With the okay machine catalog, it is a collection of the virtual machines. Very, very simple answer. Okay. What is delivery group? With the help of delivery group, you can restrict or you can publish a particular virtual machine or particular application to a specific user or group. Means if one application is modified for HR team, so it's your responsibility like this application it should be visible to HR guys only, not with the other teams. Okay. And with the help of application delivery group, we can achieve that task. Now why my mouse stop working? Wait, let me take a remote of this machine. And this is my hypervisor, which is Gen server. This hypervisor comes from Citrix, and I'm using it. But in corporate, you can find multiple hypervisors like VMware,
So they are using VMware.
yeah, VMware, your Gen server, and Hyper-V, which is from the Microsoft. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Now, with the delivery group, you can restrict or you can publish a particular application to particular user or particular team. Now, inside the application, from here, you can only publish the applications to the end users. So, let me check. Right now, I have published single application for my end users, which is WordPad. Now, if I go to the properties of WordPad into the delivery, these are the icons. If you want to change the icon, you can put your photo as well here. Okay, so that there is nothing. In the location, the path from which this application is executing, like C program files or whatever the path. Into the group, this application, it is getting published from the application server delivery group. If I click on edit priority, you can set any priority till 0 to 10. 0 is the highest one, okay? And if you want to publish this application to some another groups as well, you can click on add, you can click on delivery group, and you can select the delivery group. Right now, we do not have any additional delivery group. Into the limit visibility, you can set the visibility to particular user. Means right now, this is published to the entire delivery group. But if I want to limit the visibility of this particular application, I can click here. I can click on add. From here, I can click on advanced. Or you can simply type the user. For an example, I can type test. So I'm getting 3 users from name test. I can select any of the user. I can click OK. And now this application, it is only visible to this single user only. Right now, I do not want to make this change. Go with the default one. It is taking time. Wait for it. So this is not the entire setup because you Do not have that much of time, right? Otherwise, I will let you know how to configure the studio, how to configure the storefront, how to configure the entire data center.
Yeah, I just have 3 days.
Because theory part, it is not always help actually. You need to have some hands-on as well. What happened to it? Okay, wait for it.
So, for example, if any session was stuck in between and they contacted you, and so what you want to do is you want to
Hmm.
you want to reset the session, and they should be able to again use the session. The user should not stuck in between. So, what step you will be doing for that?
I will guide you.
For
Wait for it.
example, I'm yeah.
Wait for it. It is taking a while. Okay, wait for it. Cannot go ahead. Okay, let it wait for this. In the meantime, it is not allowing anything to perform. Let me check in Task Manager what is going on.
So you can just check the same thing in the Citrix to director, right?
Yes. So let's go to the director. Hmm, we're going to start Citrix and Citrix director. So as I told you, director, it is a web-based URL. Okay. Now this is a director console. Now first I have to put my username, then password, then domain. Now let me log in. So same console you will find everywhere, only company icons or logo or company name will be changed.
Okay.
What it is saying, you must enter the valid credentials. Valid. I entered the correct one only.
So it's just you are not using a secure connection. So there is some
No, no.
connectivity issues, I guess.
Look, we are using HTTP, not HTTPS. Because for learning purpose, we cannot afford that, SSL license or SSL certificate. So that is fine. It is not accepting that password. So
So what does it mean you are not if I mean you are not using a secure connection means like what does it mean?
wait. Connections are of two types. First, that is your HTTP, which is which runs on the port number 80, and that is the unsecure websites like third-party websites, right? But when you put HTTPS, S stands for the security and SSL certificate, and it is running on port number 443. So when SSL certificate is there, so that certificate, what it will do, it will only allow authenticated users only. But on other hand, HTTP, it will allow everyone to access the resources or the website.
Uh,
Did I forget the password? What is going on here? It is still taking a time. Okay, 10-minute prompt is there. We'll take a tea break after 10 minutes and I will be sharing new invite, okay?
okay.
What is the time for you right now?
It's 10:40
In the evening, correct?
night, yeah.
Password is correct. Oh, this time. So this is a direct console you will find in every corporate. Okay. So you can see this is my site name, what I have given, that is Indore. And if I right now my like VMs are shut down from long time, but here you can see the logs like the machine count failed to start 0 because no machine is powered on so far. Unregistered 0, everything is 0. But in production, you will find these kind of alerts here. You can see we have got one alert here. In the start, we have seen that 8 days are remaining, right? That pop up. So now it is prompting me to update the license. And this is my delivery controller, which is on, which is running on out of box grace license period. I think it is almost expired only. Okay. So these kind of things you can find it from here. Now, if I click on user connection failure, so you will find how many users are trying to connect, how many connections are successful, how many connections are unsuccessful. And if you click on here on the search bar, and if any of the user is facing any kind of issues, right? So user is complaining and you have got a ticket. So first you have to click on the search bar, then you have to search for the user. So let's search my name as well. This is the user Mahesh Singh. Click on it. Now, right now it is showing this user do not have any running machine or sessions. Why? Because I have not logged on as a end user. But from this console only, you can search for the user,
Okay.
you can restart the machine, you can log off the user, you can shadow the user screen to your laptop, you can reset user profile, and you can reset user personal disk
So
as
how do
well.
you, so
Mhm.
you can just simply click on reset for resetting, or do you want to
Mhm.
change the policies?
Which policies?
I mean, is there any like partial code that we need to write to restart the session of a user?
Yes, yes, we can restart from here now. Right now it is grayed out. Why? Because this user is not logged on correctly. So right now there is no session running for this user. I simply log
So
into
if that
console
is
to
the
show you.
case, okay, if
If
that is the case, we don't need to write any code.
yes, so look, let's try that. For the same, what I have to do, I have to go to the my storefront, and this is the company URL for my user, right? Now let's act as an end user, and let's open my company website. Okay, workspace app is there. Now this is a console you will find in your company when you are trying to log into your BDI. So here what I can set my username ms185426 and the password. Now I logged in, but for this user there is no VDI allocated. Okay, let me log off, log in again. Mm, test 01.
Okay, for example, see if I join newly to an organization, if they want me
Yeah,
to give the
yes,
access like apps and
yeah.
desktops, how will be, so they will be doing it in the Azure dictionary, or
Mhm.
that
Yes,
they'll be doing that.
you can see now for test user 01, one application is assigned, right? So what user has to do? User simply has to double click on the application.
Yeah, it will launch the next website, so the
Yeah.
screen
Now,
that okay.
in some time, that application it will be launched for the user. It may take a while, but it will be launch. And also here one scenario based question is also there, like when user is trying to access the application or VDI and user are getting some error like unable to launch VDI or something like that. In that case, how you will troubleshoot and how you will fix these kind of scenario based things they will ask. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to check to this user which VDI is registered, right? So for the same, we have the username test user 01. So simply go to the director to troubleshoot this. From the director console, just search for that user who is complaining, right? So test 01 is the user. Select this. Now you can see connection failed because client could not be connected to the desktop, right? Now here we are getting that option restart. It is grayed out or it is highlighted right now, right? But
Yeah.
user is unable to connect to this machine. Now
We
connection was
need to check
connection was
why
failed.
it's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Now first of all, what you have to do, if you click on the details, from here you can see the user display name, delivery group, machine catalog name, and machine name also. Machine name is HR-01. So now you have got the host name for the user, right? So simply you can go to the machine. This is your machine details, okay? And now you have to go to the studio console. From the studio, you have to click on the machine catalog. And from here, we have got that machine catalog, which is application server. So why it is not launching? The reason is that that machine it is in unregistered state. Means machine is not registered with the license server. So you have to troubleshoot in that way. And why it is not getting registered? There might be some connectivity
So
issue.
if you want to give a license to that person, like then what you will do?
Yeah, maybe some firewall issue because every machine, whatever the machine is there, all the machines should be continuously communicate to the delivery controller. If they are unable to communicate, that means something is blocking the connection. Okay, so now to fix that, what you have to do? Simply you have to try to ping first. Ping with the host name of this machine. So ping space app hyphen svr hyphen 01. Let's see. It is getting reply from 31.151. Okay. That means from delivery controller, it is getting reply, but same thing we have to change from the machine end. So again, go to the hypervisor, click on the application server, log in there, click on your admin user only, like whatever the username and password you will get from your company, you have to enter those. Okay, in this call, less than a minute is remaining. It may be terminated anytime. Why? Because we are using free version of Zoom. Okay. So in free version of Zoom, only 45 minutes limit is there for a single call. So we'll take a break and I will be sharing new invite very, very soon. Okay.
Yeah. So first, one thing I want to let you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I had few questions. Okay, I'll just randomly asking you. So
Mm-hmm.
keeping this practical hands-on apart,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll be asking you a few questions. I mean, like what kind of
Uh,
questions they will be asked. If you can tell me that orally, so that I
yes,
can
yes.
understand.
Yes, yes. I will
Yeah,
explain. Okay. I
yeah.
will explain. Yeah.
Why? So now I don't have more time, so I cannot go from A, B, C, Ds. Okay.
चलो बेस है their
Mm-hmm.
base.
Mm-hmm. My
So
screen is it is visible to you, correct?
uh,
My screen is visible, correct?
yes.
Okay. So do you have any idea what is Citrix and how it works?
Citrix is a cloud-based service, and it's like Azure and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
Mm-hmm.
Office 365 like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea and on it of it. So even I have an idea of an Azure and Office 365.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, you know, I took some lessons, on them.
Okay, so basically, Citrix, it is a company having headquarters in US, Florida, and it is most popular into the virtualization. And the major products from Citrix are JANAP and Jan Desktop. So earlier, those products were named as JANAP and Jan Desktop, but now they guys renamed their product from JANAP to Virtual App and from Jan Desktop to the Virtual Desktop. So the current name is Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop. In short, it is known as CVAD. Is it clear?
Yes, clear. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in Citrix or any kind of data center, okay, like VMware, Azure, or whatever it is, right? We have some layers in every data center. So that first layer from left hand side, that is your user layer. So as a data center architect, we have nothing to do with the user layer. Our local IT team will take care of this user layer. Why? Because these are the end user devices, end user laptop or desktop, whatever it is. And inside that end user device, we have to guide our local IT team to install Citrix Workspace application and one web browser. It should be a Google Chrome, for Firefox, or any other browser. Okay, so that is the task for the local IT team, and we have to guide them. Now, that right
Yes.
hand part, that right hand part, that is our data center that we have to manage. So, as you can see, in data center, we have access layer, we have control layer, we have resource layer, and we have a hardware layer. So hardware layer, that is our hypervisor on which we have to host all the servers as a virtual machine. So in access layer, we are having two components, storefront and ADC. So earlier it was NetScaler, now they guys rename that product to the ADC. And storefront, it is a website or a web page for an end user. And NetScaler, it is a load balancer. So both are the virtual machines hosted on the hypervisor. In control layer, we are having the servers which is controlling the infra. So our first server, that is delivery controller. It is a core Citrix server which controls all the data center operations. And next we have domain controller. Basically, domain controller, it is a Active Directory server,
Right, I see.
which which manage the end user
So what's the
authentication.
difference of delivery controller and domain controller?
Delivery controller perform the operation related to the VDI. Means if VDI, if we have to publish the VDI or the virtual desktop to end user, those kind of operations we can perform with that delivery controller, right? But for domain controller, we can simply reset the end user password. We can create new users. We can create the user or
Any
group,
computers,
right?
users and
Users and
computers, yeah,
computers. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And SQL, that is our database. You know
database.
what is
Yeah, I
SQL,
know.
right? Yeah. And license server, it is a Citrix license server who allocate the licenses to the virtual machines, whatever we are using. And file server, it is your network storage on which you have to host all the data of
Right.
the end user. It could be your NAS storage, your SAN storage, any storage, okay?
Yeah.
And in resource layer, we having all the virtual machines or virtual servers which we have to publish to the end users. Everything will be stored here in the resource layer. Look, all of these servers, whatever is mentioned here, are the virtual machines only, and all of these virtual machines are hosted on the top of the hypervisor, and it is a bare metal hypervisor, right? So in corporate, you can find VMware ESXi, Citrix Gen
Okay.
Server or Citrix Hypervisor, and another one that is from the Microsoft, which is known as Hyper-V. Okay.
XI and Citrix are they and are they different?
Nothing difference there, only vendor are different, okay?
Vendor, yeah.
Yeah, companies are different, okay? Performance are same. Only you will find like some green icon or some red icon, okay? Difference kind of thing. Like some GUI, graphical user interface difference should be there, but performance is almost same, okay?
Same.
Yeah,
Yes, I see. Get it, get it.
okay. Now, coming to the roadmap and the plan, how we will cover that entire series, okay? So,
Yeah,
as you can see, right now we are here. The prerequisite and introduction. In today's session, we are discussing the prerequisites, like what I need from your side and how we will go. From tomorrow onwards, we will go with the core installation and the lab configuration part. So, as you can
yes.
see, from tomorrow onwards, we will configure the delivery controller and other core components. In the third one, we will install and configure the Citrix hypervisor. In the fourth one, we will learn how to create a site and how to add delivery controller to the site. In the fifth one, we will learn how to create the master image, golden image, and how to install the VDA agent on that. In the sixth one, we will create the machine catalog. So basically, machine catalogs are nothing. These are the collections of the virtual machines. In the seventh one,
Yeah,
we will configure the delivery group. So delivery, with the help of the delivery groups, we can restrict users or group to a particular
yeah.
virtual
Access,
machine or
yes.
server.
Uh,
In the eighth one, we will learn how to install and configure the storefront server. In the ninth one, we will act as an end user and we will test the deployment. Means we will hit our company official website, we will put the credential and we will try to access the virtual machine, whatever we will publish to the end user. And tenth one,
mm,
that will be a lengthy for maybe 4 or 5 days. In this, we will cover the troubleshooting, backup plan, disaster recovery, and some kind of interview preparations as well. Okay. So all the kind of real-time scenarios will cover after the testing of our deployment. Okay. And out in the roadmap.
no, no, and
Okay.
that's okay because we will cover it, and
Yes.
bit by
So right.
bit.
Yes. So right now we are here. Okay.
And connection.
Yeah.
Uh, Tomorrow and night or uh,
Sorry. Come
our
again.
plan. And last night,
Mm-hmm.
I have internet issue.
Mm-hmm.
My Wi-Fi was very slow.
So
So
is it
last
working
night,
fine now? Is it working fine now?
yeah,
Okay. So now the virtual machines, what we have to create in our test infra. So first we will configure the domain controller, and on the domain controller we will configure ADDS, DSCP and DNS roles. Second VM, we have to create the delivery controller, that is a core server for the Citrix data center operations. We will be using two hypervisors, Gen server 01 and Gen server 02, to avoid the fault tolerance or disaster recovery, so that we can switch if one hypervisor goes down. In that case, we can switch the operations to the another one. And next server, that is our storefront server, and these are our two client machine. With the help of client machine or end user devices, we will try to access the resources. So as you can see, the memory requirement here. So 2 GB for domain controller, 6 GB for delivery controller. These are the minimum requirement. 10 plus 10 GB for the hypervisors, and storefront 4 GB of RAM. And to end user machines, we required at least 2 plus 2 GB of RAM. So as you can see, 10 plus 10, 20, 26, 28, then 32, and 34, and 36. Means at least 32 GB or more memory is
I need it.
required. Yeah, RAM. So at least these are the minimum requirement to set up our own data center. We need to set up these machines. Okay. Now, what I need from your side, I need some basic knowledge of Windows Server administration that you might have. Have you ever worked on the Active Directory server?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
have knowledge of that.
Yeah. And do you know what is DSCP?
This is B. You know, and this is B.
It is used
It
to
is
assign the IP address to the end user
it is
machines.
and it is and dynamic. And
Yeah, yeah.
IP.
Dynamic host configuration protocol.
Dynamic host. Yeah, yes, of course, yeah.
And DNS, do you know what is DNS?
DNS, domain name and resolution. I
Yes.
know that.
Okay. Now, the hardware requirement, what I need from your side, I need one system with at least 32 GB of RAM. SSD, I need at least 500 GB. CPU, I need i7 7th generation or higher. And this particular system, we will configure this as a bare metal server. So you can check if you have those kind of hardware configuration. If not, please let me know. I will arrange some remote lab for you on rental basis so that we can discuss offline, not on the recorded line.
You
Software
know, and
requirement.
uh,
Hmm?
and you mean my laptop or and the ISO and virtual machine?
Okay, so ISO media I already sent to you, right? These files you
Yes,
already downloaded yesterday, right?
yes, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean the
Windows,
hardware requirement
yeah,
and laptop,
Windows Server.
and has
Okay. So
and
Windows Server
has 16
2022
GB
ISO.
RAM.
Yeah, okay.
Is it
Now,
okay?
yeah, it is okay.
Laptop.
But your
Uh,
hardware configuration, you told me 16 GB of RAM, so it will not work.
my laptop, and it's Core i5
No,
and
no, 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 no.
it's
i5 will not work, bro. i5
not
will not work.
uh
Means i7 with at least 32 GB of RAM, if you can arrange, will please let me know. If you cannot arrange, also let me know. I will arrange a remote lab for you, okay? On rental basis. So that is not an issue. We can arrange the lab, okay? But you can try from your end. If you unable to do so, please let me know, okay? And we are going
no,
to use Windows Server 2022
and
ISO media. Mm-hmm,
and teacher,
mm-hmm.
I don't have that requirements. My hard requirements, and it's less than this.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I'm telling you. Now, please try to upgrade your hardware. If you are unable to do so, please let me know. I will arrange a lab for you, okay?
I'm telling you now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that.
Mhm. We can discuss these things and the pricing for the lab offline, not on the recorded line. Okay.
Is it an
Mhm.
another price?
We cannot discuss here. This is a recorded line, bro. I'm recording this session. Okay.
Oh,
And I
okay,
used
okay,
to
okay.
I used to upload this session on YouTube as well. So we cannot discuss the pricing over here. Okay. We can discuss over the WhatsApp for the pricing. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay. And we are going to use Windows Server 2022 and we are going to use Windows 10 Professional, and these ISO files are available at the Microsoft portal at free of cost. You can download, and if you are unable to do so, I will share one Google Drive link. You can download these medias from there. Okay.
Yes.
Any doubt so far? What is the roadmap? What we are planning? How many machines we have to create? This is a roadmap. We are here. Prerequisite and introduction. You have some basic knowledge of Windows Server, Active Directory, and DHCP and DNS. I am okay with that. And for to perform the lab, you simply have to arrange the hardware. That's it, nothing complicated. And also you can take a subscription from cloud as well. But if you are unable to do so, please let me know. I am having multiple vendors who can arrange that on my behalf for you. And
Okay, and so you will guide me any and tool I will need. Okay,
sorry, come again.
you will guide me to every tool I need.
Ah, yes, yes. Now, so basically, like that is my requirement. But I told you that you have to manage, and if you are unable to manage, please let me know. And the ISO files I already shared these Citrix medias to you. Now only Windows Server media is pending. That let's make it 2022 we are going to use, and Windows 10.
Will you give me that server or will I download it from
No, no,
Microsoft?
I will share the link. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, that's it from. Okay, so we are planned to connect at 9 p.m. my time, correct? But somehow we skipped yesterday session, right? So
Yes, yes.
we connected into the afternoon. Like it's 3 o'clock for me right now, as you can see, correct? So
Yeah. Yeah.
please try to arrange the stuff before my 9 p.m. And if you cannot arrange, please let me know. I will do the arrangement for you, okay? And we will connect 9 p.m. and we will continue with the practicals, okay? Is it fine for you?
So, and I think like this time is good for us, maybe.
No, no. Like we scheduled for my 9 p.m. Right? Right now it's 14:53 for me.
Yes.
So,
So
mhm.
tomorrow night, and we'll meet at 9. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh,
And rest of the thing we will discuss offline, okay?
okay. Okay. Okay.
For lab and hardware and whatever charges, all those kind of things. Okay? Just ping me after this call, okay? Just text me, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you very much. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.
Okay.
So, when it comes to the hypervisors, two types of hypervisors are there. Okay? Type 1 and type 2. So,
Okay.
type 1 hypervisor, it is also known as bare metal hypervisor. Okay?
Okay.
And there is no other name for the type 2. So, now coming to the type 1 hypervisor. So, examples for type 1 hypervisors are VMware, e ESXi, or your Hyper-V, and another is from Citrix, that is Gen server.
Okay.
So these are the operating systems, okay? Not the applications. These are the operating system, and you can directly install type 1 hypervisor as an OS on the physical machine or server, okay? Physical server or physical hardware.
Okay.
Physical hardware or server. Now, in production, you will always find type 1 hypervisor only, okay?
Okay.
But for your testing purpose, you can use type 2 hypervisor as well, but type 2 hypervisors are not recommended if you want to test something, right, in your personal space. In that case, you can use it. And these are the softwares. These are the softwares. And examples are like your VirtualBox, then your VMware workstation,
Okay.
Workstation Pro, or maybe Docker, or if any other is there, you can use that, right? So to install these hypervisors, you need an operating system. Means this is my personal laptop, and in this laptop, I have installed Windows 10, right, or 11. I'm not. It's Windows 10, right? So
Yeah.
So to install VMware Workstation Pro or Docker or any other type 2 hypervisor, you need an operating system first, right? And at the top of that operating system, you can install this application as an application, right? Like you are installing Zoom or any other application, right?
Yeah.
So in these are for learning purpose or testing purpose only. But if you have to deploy the entire lab, these like type 2 hypervisors are never recommended. Okay. So in production, you will always find any of them like VMware ESXi or Hyper-V or Gen server. Okay. Now
Okay.
coming to the cloud,
Yeah.
what is that? Any idea?
Uh, Microsoft Azure and AWS, Amazon AWS and Google and Alibaba.
Nah, I'm not asking for the vendors who is providing the cloud services. I'm asking what is cloud.
Cloud is basically the all the infrastructure is it on the internet. Basically, we have to just use the resources over the internet.
So what did it means? Means if I have taken, okay, or if I purchased, right? Like for an example, Win 10 machine, okay, from let's suppose Azure only, okay,
Yeah.
AVD. So what did it mean?
So
Means that particular machine, it should be hosted on any of the hypervisor over the globe, right? Means one hardware is required. Look, let's do in that way because basic things are required. So for an example, like where it gone? Okay. For an example, let's suppose you are the end user, okay? You are the end user, right? You are having laptop or desktop, whatever you have here, okay? And you went to the cloud, Azure, okay? And this is your cloud, okay? And this is your PC from where you are accessing the virtual machines, right? So you can access the Azure over the web browser, correct? You can enter the URL or whatever, and at Azure you are using Win 10,
yeah.
Win 10 or Windows Server machine, whatever it is, right? Now, what did it means? Where is this machine hosted? Because Azure it is just a URL, okay? So
Yeah.
on Azure side, one data center should be there, here, okay? This is
Yeah.
a physical server, and on that physical server, your Windows 10 machine should be somewhere in this machine, like over the top of that hypervisor only. Means for end user, it is a cloud, but for us, for data center engineers, it is a data center. And at the top of the bare metal hypervisor, that particular Win 10 machine should be somewhere at some of the data centers. So let's suppose this is your machine, Win 10. Okay.
Okay.
So when you are accessing cloud, you are only accessing that cloud over the Azure, but that connection, it is coming through that hypervisor. Okay.
Yeah.
And in between, you might be using any of the web browser, right? Let's suppose you are using Chrome here, right?
Okay.
So there is nothing you can host it on the cloud. That is not possible. Some physical server, any physical hardware is required. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in a same way, For end user, it is a cloud. Why? Because they are using their laptop, they are opening a web browser and they can access their resources, right? But that resource, to host that particular resource, application or the operating system, we need an hardware or server or any other machine, right?
Yeah.
Any doubt in this basic concept?
No.
So whenever if someone asks you like what is cloud, so you have to explain that way. For end user, it may be cloud, but for us, resources, it should be hosted on the hypervisor. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's delete this drawing. Now coming to the hypervisor. So here what I'm doing, I'm simply creating one virtual machine here. Okay. I already have one template here, and with that template, I can quickly create the virtual machine on this hypervisor. So I can right click on that Windows Server 2022 template, and how to create the template, I will let you know in upcoming sessions. Okay.
Okay.
Simply right click on the template, click on quick create. So you can see it is created now. If I click on the console, you will see that machine, it is booting up. In the meantime, let's go to the properties of this machine and rename it. So I already have DC, I already have DC and DDC. So let's make it, we are going to configure it as a domain controller, okay? So I'm giving name this machine to DC hyphen 02, okay? Because I already have one VM with the DC name, okay?
Okay.
Or we can give it like domain controller, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. You can see machine is booted up. Simply log into the machine. I'm entering the credentials. Let me make it full screen. So this is our Windows Server 2022 machine. Don't show. This is our Windows Server 2022 machine. And if you go to the local server, you can see like I've given 2 GB RAM to this particular machine, right? And these are the IP address and the host name of this machine. So you have nothing to do with the host name and other stuff. So simply like first we have to change the host name of this machine. So simply click on the name, click on the change. Let's make it domain controller. Space are not allowed. Domain. Let's give name like DC-02 and it's in work group. Click OK. I think these are the basic things. I'm simply, working with you to record the content and to, explain the basic content or basic stuff to you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. You might have been, perform these activities earlier also, right?
That's
But
right. Yes.
simply rebooting the machine. Because, when we'll go to the console now or after setting up the data center, correct? So at that time, I do not want to, dig into these basic kind of things, right?
Okay.
So machine is booted up. Simply log in. Huh. Now, the basic requirement to configure any server as a domain controller, before doing that, you must have to configure an static IP first. Okay. You cannot use Active Directory servers with the dynamic IPs. Okay. Why? Because if your server rebooted and IP changed, right? In that case, your users will not be able to connect. So let me use my network 192.168.3.1 dot 100.101 I have taken, 102 I taken, 103 I taken, 105. Let's make it 105. It's a class C subnet and gateway, my router IP 31.1, and we do not require, okay. In preferred define DNS, we are going to configure DNS server on this machine only, so we can use the same IP of this machine 105. Okay, click OK, click OK. Now for confirmation, just disable the network adapter and enable it. What your time for you, bro, right now over there?
The time is 11:36 in the
I
night.
I hope you can manage half an hour, right?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, so now to configure this machine as a domain controller, you have to go to the manage, add roles and features, click on next, role-based installation, that is fine. These are the details, the host name, the IP address, and the OS we are using Windows Server 2022, and that is Evolution Edition. Next. Now from here we have to select Active Directory and Domain Services, and we are going to configure DHCP on this machine, and we will take DNS as well. So on a single machine, I am configuring these three roles, right? But in production, you will find a different server for different components. Okay.
Okay.
Next, 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 and install it. It will take a while to install the role. Any doubts so far?
Nothing.
Means you are comfortable with the
Yeah.
language and with the stuff. Like we are doing the basic things, like, but these basic things are required, right?
Yes.
So right now, do you have any opportunity with Azure, like ABD, or you are looking for the change?
I'm just looking for the change, sir. There is no opportunity right now because the market is very tight these days, everywhere.
So if you are looking for a change now, just call me after that recorded line. I will guide you what to do, because uh,
Okay.
this is December end now. In January, multiple projects I have in UK, in US, in Canada, right? And
Mhm.
all are the remote profiles. So I cannot discuss these things on the recorded line, right? I will discuss after this call. Okay.
I will call you. Yeah.
Yeah. So feature installation is done. Click on close. Now you can see that notification yellow flag. Click on that.
Yeah.
Now promote this server to a domain controller. So click on that. Now we do not have any existing domain so far, right? So we are configuring the new domain, and domain name. Let's make it what? Let's make it test.com. Okay. You can name it any like you can put your name as well. Okay. So
Okay.
that is not an issue. Now DSRM password we have to enter. So DSRM, it is a file for a disaster recovery. Means if your data center went down or your server is crashed completely, right? In that case, you can use that file to recover your Active Directory data. Now DNS delegation not required. Now here you will find test.com or maybe test only. It will automatically. Okay, test, that is fine. Click on next. So these are the database for Windows Server like C Windows NTDS and sysvol for 32-bit kind of now database. Okay, so please do remember this. I will share
Okay.
you and if you want to change the path, you can put these database files to a separate location, but we are okay with the default one. Now here is a summary, whatever we have selected. Click on next, and it will verifying some of the prerequisites and wait for. Okay, everything is fine. All prerequisite checks successfully. That is fine. Click on install. Now what it will do, it will configure this Windows Server 2022 machine as a domain controller within some time. And after that, we are good to go. So what I need from your side, I want, look, let me work with your lab. So let me open this power on this my primary domain controller. And which laptop or desktop you are using right now?
I have a Dell laptop.